lot of items, and they're just going to kill towers. Because if you look at what Bears have, they always have this consistent theme where they have a really good amount of wave clear, but they can't necessarily like full out fight what Alliance have.
No.
So they need to like get pickoffs. They need to have vision, which they do have in spades. Don't get me wrong. But Alliance can hit this really strong peak where they have Alchemist, a lot of farm, and a healing ward, and they're going to hit a tower, and the Slark and the Queen of Pain are going to look at each other and go, oh, crap, we can't actually kill that.
But at the same time, I feel, you say play it fast. If it does go late, surely Alliance are in an okay place as well. I mean, yeah, the Slark's annoying, he's going to scale, but I mean, the Quap and such, this Alchemist, he's going to be huge, being empowered up, and then, farming all his items, getting Axe, giving an Axe to Magnus, and then suddenly Magnus, he doesn't even have to bother casting Empower on him. Crystal Maiden's going to have empowered ranged hits because of the aura. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, can you excuse me 1 second? I'm pretty sure I just have to go destroy my dogs, because I'm pretty sure you can hear them, right?
Only a little bit. They're very quiet.
They're going insane.
There's a pause.
We're paused anyway.
Go run. Go run again.
I'll be right back.
Don't put the dog down, though, Andy. Rest in peace, puppy. Was it? Oh my goodness! Why does the camera do this? Ah, there we go. Smooth drags on. We're good, boys and girls. Welcome to the game. Sorry for the pause, but a very exciting one this is going to be. I'm hyped. You're hyped. Your mum's hyped. Your dad's hyped. Yeah, your great grandmother's hyped. Bless her. And here we have it. Magnus action. Jonas and Fan. Limp on the farm game. Alchemist and Jug potentially going to get insanely powerful this matchup.
Alright, we're good. No dogs were harmed in the making of this cast.
Fantastic. Wow. We didn't miss anything, Andy.
Alright.
We're going to pause. TeamSpeak apparently causing issues. Come on, TeamSpeak.
Yeah, this should be a very interesting one because...
It's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, I like what Alliance are doing. I think their draft is really strong. But, Bears, they have a tendency to make like these really skirmishy kind of lineups work well for them. It's kind of their wheelhouse still. So even though they have different heroes, it's the same kind of play.
I mean, would you say you favor a certain draft then here?
I think on paper again, Alliance. I feel I do like what they're doing a bit more, because I think it's really stable, whereas Bears kind of have to meet a couple of criteria. Slark needs to make sure that he has a good lane. Queen has to do well. And then you have to stop the Alchemist from becoming this monster that you just can't kill. The single target burst damage on the side of Bears, it's okay, not great. And if Limp gets to a point where he has enough like effective HP to just live through that burst, and again, he's gonna have a healing ward too.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets a good time, as you said, on Armlet Radiance, they can't just remove him. They have to even fight around him. I don't know. You're right. Unless they really kind of push him down at the start, he's going to be an issue. And he's always going to have that catch-up potential. Even if he doesn't have a great starting lane, he can hit the camps. He can be empowered up by Jonas and Fan. And he's certainly got options to come back from a bad start in the middle lane.
Yeah, I mean, there will come a point where, the Slark will become a terror. Because it's going to be difficult for Alliance to lock him down. They don't have the greatest of abilities for dealing with like Dark Pact and Shadow Dance and whatever, but it's going to be a while before Firo's going to be able to just walk into a team fight. You got Spin, Crystal Maiden ulti, RPs, even just the Radiance and the Acid Spray. Slark is not really durable by nature. It's just how you build him that makes him tanky. So it'll take time, and as we kind of expected, they are going to aggro. They see the Slark pick and they're like, nah, we're not going to let this happen.
They want to punish it, and they want to punish it hard. We've seen obviously already today. Bears, they played against the Slark, and Error Slark did not have a happy time. We'll see if they have a better job themselves, but Alliance, similar vein as what we saw Bears do against up NRP, as you mentioned. They want to try and stop it early. Handscan, just keep an eye on them at the side, and lanes will be revealed for Bears, so they now know that they're up against this aggressive tri-lane. Mid lane, Yapzor, hang on. How is he allowed to do that? He just walks up, dives the tower pretty much, and gets the courier.
He's got boots. I mean, sometimes you just don't expect that, Sending the courier out. Oh, he didn't even get his salve? Did he have a salve on the courier? Why was it? Oh, he got his quelling blade. Never mind. Okay, that's why the courier was there. Yeah, you get the level 1 bounty rune, you get the double gold, you immediately send out your quelling. I was like, wait, why was the courier there if he doesn't have a salve? But yeah, it's an alchemist, so it's a little bit different. That really hurts, actually. Like, because if you're going to do an aggro try, and you want to shut down the Slark, you really need your mid to have a courier. Like, that is super, super important.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. He can't expect that help elsewhere. And Yapzor knows that. You know, you already see just Yapzor setting up in the mid lane. He is going to want to try and do his best to play with this Alchemist just as much as Alliance are looking to play with his Slark. And definitely worth noting as well, which we didn't really touch upon, to hold that fort is in the mid lane. Fada jumping forward. Can they bring Limp down? A TP will come in. Can they save him? No, they cannot.
No, he cancelled it.
I thought about the deny, but then he couldn't do it. He couldn't kill his mate. He just didn't want to do it. But that's given the first blood to Bears, and he just needed to man up and punch his friend in the face.
That really hurts. Like, getting the courier killed, getting first blooded. I mean, I guess the courier is going to be up in about a minute, so at the end of the day, he'll still be able to get his bottle in his boots. And that's the thing you want to do as Bears. You want to pressure the mid. It's way too hard to fight Alliance's tri-lane. Like, Crystal Maiden, Ogre, Jug, good luck. You'd have to send like all 5 of your heroes there to actually beat that lane with what they have right now. So pressure elsewhere, try to win your other 1v1s. You know, Forev, he's doing all right. It's 8-2 in the bottom lane, just slightly ahead of CS of Jonas and Fan. And if Forev gets a good start, he can make some pretty successful rotations.
Absolutely. And yeah, before that kicked off in the mid lane, just saying, you know, the switch around of roles, of course, from Bears, putting Fada back in the mid lane this game and having Fear on the Slark. And I guess it makes sense because we've seen in the past, you know, Fada, he's a very, very proficient quad player.
Yeah, it's definitely one of, I would say, his most played. That and Razor. But he's been playing mid for a super long time, and I think that Firo is a little bit newer to the scene, so maybe he just doesn't have like the wide array of heroes yet to choose from.
For sure. And we've seen how good Firo is at playing these farming cores, you know, picking the Invoker and getting insane net worth, and perhaps that just suits him better to have that switch around, have him on this Slark, whereas you're relying on Fada to get involved in the plays and make the moves around the map. Bottom lane, Jonas and Fan being chased down here. They've got the telekinesis from Yapzor. Do they actually have the damage to bring him down? He's pretty tanky on this Magnus with the poor man's shield, and he will be able to walk it off and keep himself alive as he sails back up.
Yeah, but Yapzor is doing a really good job of pressuring lanes, just giving mid a little bit of an edge, well, a lot of an edge actually, killing him and killing the courier. You can't ask for a Rubik to do more than that. Like, he could never go back to that lane, and already he's done his job. So he just walks bottom, pressures Jonas and Fan a little bit, give Forev the ability to get to that level 6. The tricky part is the Slark, he's actually not suffering as much as you would think. Like, Aloda's only ahead 8 CS. That's not really gigantic. And yeah, sure, EGM's pulling, he's getting the large camp or whatever, but Adam is still soaking EXP as well. So all things considered, Alliance need to do very, very well in their lanes. And I would say right now, Bears are actually doing a pretty good job of mitigating their losses.
Fear and Adam looking towards EGM Aloda. They do have to be careful. You know, this CM out of position, Firo can certainly try and take the pick of him. But this mid lane, because Limp did back up and he is prioritizing just farming safely, he's really staying away from this mid lane. I think he is scared of Yapzor's movements and rotations. And that, of course, is going to give Fada this absolutely free lane at the start for the first few waves.
Yeah, he's just making sure that he's only showing when the creep wave is hitting his tower. Okay. That's what a lot of mids do if they know they're not really going to get any help. Like, you just say, all right, the CM and the Ogre aren't rotating for me. I need to play as safe as humanly possible, and with Acid Spray and Bounty Runes, I can still pretty effectively farm the woods.
On the bottom lane, Yapzor to come back down. Again, just keeping tabs on Jonas and Fan. Of course, with this warning as well, keeping this bottom lane very, very safe for Yapzor and Forev. I know any movement that comes in from Alliance, and Jonas and Fan, he is actually going to be pressured to back away from the lane because of this Rubik's presence.
Yeah. Alliance have actually started to control top a lot better now. Like, Firo has been completely starved for the last couple of waves. He's like locking the lane in place. EGM isn't going for the greed pull anymore. I think that's the only reason he actually got a wave or two, because when you end up pulling the creeps, what happens is, like, Adam goes to the side, he gets experience from the camp as well, and then if you mess it up, then Firo ends up getting creeps as well. So it's now it's getting a lot harder for him.
Loader coming across to get what he can here from the pull the Bears have made. Fada is level 6 now. Has that TP, so if Alliance do go for any aggressive play, especially on this top lane we've got to watch out for, the reaction could certainly be there from the Quap, as Fada could look to try and turn it.
Yeah, he's got Sonic Wave now.
Quick blink away there from Limp. So once again, Rune will actually be on the bottom lane. It is an Invis rune, so even more perfect if Fada does want to set up a gank now with the Invis and with that Sonic Wave.
Yeah, they can kill Jonas and Fan actually, I think. Well, he's actually quite tanky. He's got a raindrop as well. 1000 HP and a raindrop, that's actually pretty tough.
See what they go for. Yeah, Fada's not going to head down to the bottom at the moment.
It would actually be easier to kill Loda, but the problem is that rotation is very hard to make successful because you need to bring Forev and Fata both. So I guess they're just going to try to pressure. They got the ward behind the safe lane tower.
Looks like they can catch him out. They've got all the vision that they need to play with. But the damage, as you mentioned, is certainly the issue when trying to bring down this Magnus at the moment.
If they can poke him down a bit, they can do it because he doesn't actually have any regen. But if they can like eat a couple of the raindrop charges, maybe get into like 60%, 70% health, then they could open up a kill.
Alright, here we go. This is the rotation that we were waiting for. And it really isn't a surefire kill. And they may have to dive quite a bit. It's going to be interesting to see if Alliance have the time to react. And they are already reacting. Look at this, EGM and Hansken. Heading down, there's the opening. Mass TP's coming through. They'll blow the Sonic Wave, but the RP comes out in time. They may kill Jonas and Fan, but in response, can Alliance find something? They'll look towards Brev. Omni Slash to make sure he doesn't TP out. Yabso trying for the TP. Is the damage there to bring him down? It is. Alliance, they were ready for that, and they react perfectly.
He died in base. Like, Yabso died in his own well. That's the feels bad TP right there. But yeah, really good reaction there from Alliance. They knew. And again, it takes a really long time, right, to make those kind of ganks happen because you're sitting there for such a long time. The queen goes missing, and it's like, okay, well, where could he possibly have gone? He's not going to go try to kill the Jug because you can just spin and run away. So very, very nice reaction.
Now Logan's in a perfect position down bottom to continue the farm. The good news for Bears, of course, meaning that Vero does get a bit of space now up top. We can look to continue to try and catch up, but he certainly needs to do that. So we can see overall the laning stage, because Limp back into the jungle, the farm is certainly better on Alliance coming out of the lanes.
Yeah, you would expect that though. Like, Slark pretty much never has a good time in lane.
No.
I think I've seen like one Slark game throughout the entire qualifiers where he didn't just get trashed in the laning phase. That's just the weakness of the hero. But, you know, they have a lot to compensate for it. You know, Forev again and Fata both had really strong laning phases. Roar's back off cooldown. Loda's kind of low here.
Loda? They'll try and Blade Fury and run. That isn't indeed going to work against the Primal Roar. Can he actually outlive the damage? Well, with the telekinesis dragging him back, I think the answer is going to be a no. He tries to run, but he's taken down. And indeed, as you said, maybe just not expecting Roar to be back and available again, hanging around on very low health. And Bears, they're going for the easy punish.
Yeah, Beastmaster is a hero that, for a really long time, was considered crazy strong. Then he got a bunch of nerfs, and then everyone's like, okay, he's not so good anymore. But realistically speaking, Necro Book got buffed, and when Beastmaster got nerfed anyway. So when you get to that item, you have like a BKB disable, you can still like solo kill cores. Hero is crazy good still.
Lotus straight back to the lane. Hansken this time will be in the neighborhood to back him up if needed, and so is EGM. Two supports ready to join forces with him. Limp in the middle lane. Armlet, 1200 gold towards the Relic. So we continue to have good progress. We'll switch over to the net worth, and indeed, as we can see, Limp certainly in a place that he'll be happy with. 10 minutes in, and 2k ahead of Fada's quad. This is exactly how you want the difference to be when you're playing an Alchemist.
Yeah, also important to note that they're stacking Ancients, and Jonas and Fan maxed in power.
Yeah.
Like, he was 2-4-0, didn't even have a point in the skewer when he was playing the safe lane up against Forev. So they understand their priorities very well. It's get this Alchemist huge as fast as humanly possible.
It's certainly working. He's well, they both have managed to take him down once, but that was in the very, very early laning stage. In that first blood that we saw. But since then, they've just been able to keep Limp in a place alliance where Bears have been unable to get to him. Now down on the bottom, you're not going to see Bears as the two, but they have to be careful for Evan Yapso. Alliance really ready for a fight, and they'll look to Yapso, but Yapso with the stolen Blade Fury will make sure that there's no chance of Alliance getting the catch onto it.
And at the same time, they're counter-pressuring top as well. This tower is already like below half HP. So they're going to have to make a decision, like, do they want to push into the tier 1 in the offlane themselves? They only have a level 1 healing ward at the moment, but they do have RP. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to do much. Like, Adam should actually have time to TP if he wants. Yeah, he's just going to TP bottom.
Actually, Bears should have a chance of holding this. But as you mentioned, Alliance, if they do get the opportunities to fight, Jonas and Fan would love to hit that RP and allow Loader to get in. The empowered Jug can certainly rip through a fair few RP targets to find that jump. Sparta is going to be going for the Orchid first this game on the Queen of Pain. Limp continues to find all the space he wants. 3,000 gold. That Relic and Radiance is going to be an incredibly impressive timing this game at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, it's about how they're putting a lot of priority on him. Like, the Ancient stack, I guess, is only 2 times, so it's not really a huge deal, but it's too hard to directly pressure the Alchemist. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to pressure the other lanes, you know, get tier 1 towers down if they can, which they've already been successful in taking the mid tier 1, and then just get ganks where you can, pick and push, you know, play their game. That's kind of what Bears have been doing throughout the entire qualifiers anyway, and I don't see any reason to change what has been working for them.
Bottom lane this time round, Bears will be able to take tier 1 for themselves. Quite looks a bit with Larev. Pressuring down with the boars. There's a smoke up from Bears as well. Yapsa and Fada moving around. Loader's there, but he has the healing ward out. Not the easiest of targets to go for, and indeed Bears, they'll just drop the ward, and they'll be careful about how they engage. They're not going to jump on the Juggernaut. They know that there's backup behind him. They'll still hang around on this high ground. Alliance will force Fada to blink away. And Bears, well, they do want to do something here. Adam will recall in an extra. They have 4 members down here. Firo's being left on his own up top to continue to farm from the space that he's been given. And okay, Adam to TP out to mid. Really wanting to make sure that Alliance don't get any early tier 1s. Top lane though, rolling from Jonas and Fan. Gets the RP off in time. Firo did get the Dark Pack and the Shadow Dance off, but there we have the concoction. It connects before he gets the chance to cast the Dark Pact again. And Alliance take down the big kill. Get that Slark, keep him in position. Limp now picks up the Relic. He's only a few hundred gold away from the Radiance, and he is going to be absolutely loving that he just got himself involved in a kill on the position 1 of Bears.
Dear God, that was such a nice RP. I thought for a second he was going to miss just because the angle that he came in at. And, you know, Firo saw him coming because of night vision. So he saw and just got the Dark Pact off. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to keep him alive. And they get the tier 2 in the meantime, so they're not just going to take that one on the chin. Plus, Forev has his blink, so if they want to, they can smoke up. He's actually forgoing the Necro. He had it on quick buy a while ago, but now he's just going to go straight for the Medallion. I'm guessing that means they want to go for a much earlier Roshan to try to take it away from Alliance. Because that's one of those things where, if the Alk has a ton of farm, and they have a healing ward, they can easily take Rosh, and that push, you can't stop. Like, you will just lose all of your buildings. So, if they can stop that from happening, or pick them off enough, could buy them the time they need for Firo to become relevant here.
And I'm looking at Jonas and Fan as well. He's very close to his own Blink Dagger. And that is going to be terrifying for Bears. And I really feel, I mean, you said it earlier at the beginning of this game, if Limp gets this farm, how do Bears at this stage kill him? And I think we're at that point where it's just going to be so hard for them to take down an Alchemist with Armlet Radiance done at the 14-minute mark with the heroes that they've got. Even with the Queen of Pain, the burst isn't quite going to be there. Maybe when she has the Orchid, which Fada does now have complete, they have a chance. But Limp is pretty massive for this point of the game. He's sailing ahead of everyone else.
He's also building like straight into Manta after the Radiance is done, so that Orchid is going to have a very limited lifetime and where it actually affects the Alchemist. I mean, sure, you can still get other kills, but the Alchemist is going to be the one where you're just looking at him and saying, where is our damage? And it's one of those games where Alliance are just trying to outpace Bears. They're trying to get a lineup that's just going to hit its stride that much faster, be able to take all the other towers, you know, potentially just go Rax or get Roshan, what have you, and just ensure that Bears are smothered. They will have really good vision, which is a way back into the game, because when you have vision all the time, there's always the potential to catch out Alliance, like split pushing somewhere or not being together. You get a pick, you know, you get your map control back. But it is not going to be an easy road if it keeps at this rate.
I mean, surely as well, I mean, it's obviously nice that Fada still gets this 15-minute Orchid, but I mean, do you pick a co-op expecting to only be involved in 2 kills at the 15-minute mark, or would you have liked to see a bit more action from Queen of Pain?
Well, I thought when, you know, Forev finished up the Blink Dagger that they might go for something a little bit more aggressive, like buy a smoke, because they have the Beastmaster Hawk too, right? I guess it's hard to use against Alchemist, because Radiance plus Acid Spray, sometimes you just randomly get them killed, but Solar Crest now completed on Forev as well. This is an item that's actually, you know, we talked about the Roche potential, but it's also really good for bursting heroes, because you get that minus the minus armor, right? It's 12 armor when you Solar Crest somebody that you lose. And Alchemist is not known for having a tremendous amount of base armor in the first place, so that is a good way to supplement the kind of damage that Bears need to burst him.
Yeah, for sure. If they can lay that down as well as the Orchid, especially before he gets that Manta Star, then that certainly is the answer to killing him, I guess. Shadowblade on Firo as well.
He's killable.
Yeah.
He's killable right now.
In this window. On bottom lane, Fada, he's just going to enjoy getting a bit of damage onto the tier 3 here. Alliance will start to TP back. But Fada was able to push that lane all the way around, and there's a smoke up from Bears. Yabso Adam, Forev, and Firo wanting to make something happen with his Shadowblade pickup from the Slark. See if they can get Firo in on the front lines. Jonas and Fan does have to blink. Level 2 RP as well. Adam gets the ward out. He'll see exactly what's coming in. That's going to allow Forev to get in there with the Roar. Catches out the Magnus. They see him as well. And that warding and movement from Bears, clean and perfect. No way that Alliance could react to that.
This could actually be Roche as well. If they take away the Roshan from Alliance, that's huge. Because Alliance, like I said, if they get that going for them and they can walk down lanes with an Alchemist sitting in front with an Aegis, that's the worst case scenario for Bears. So by getting those 2 picks and taking away the first Roshan, this gives them so much more breathing room. They can give this to Fata, they can give it to Firo. Actually, did they probably give it to Fata? Yeah, okay. So they're going to give it to the Queen. That's a lot more pressure taken off of them. They can go for the aggressive blinks now as well. They're going to go for the TP out. Should be A-okay. Yep, no stuns.
And Lotus to get himself out safely as well. But yeah, as you mentioned,
they just bought themselves like 5 or 6 minutes, which is a long time.
I mean, I wonder, can we expect Alliance themselves to smoke up a Jonas fan? Because he's had this blink pickup, but he's just been unable to find an opportunity to use it.
Yeah, it's not the easiest. Like, finding RPs against a team that just has full vision, regardless of whether it's day or night. Oh, middle lane, Loda.
He's got the Omni Slash, but the Shadow Dance is there from Firo, and they'll take down the Jug. Bears, finding one. They want to try and chase down for more. It doesn't look like they will. They'll play it safe, but nonetheless, a big kill. And Loda, just, again, was pushing out that middle lane a little bit too far away from the rest of his team. And Bears were there to quickly bring him down. And now looking towards the top lane. Limp to TP across. Fada's there. We are going to have Adam, is he recalling someone in by the looks of it? Yes, he is. He's bringing him Forev. They're going to go for it with the Roar, with the Orchid. They should have enough damage to bring him down. The Illuminate flies through, and Bears, they also get the Courier.
That's his Manta.
Oh,
that's his Manta style.
Absolutely. Bears are just, they're doing exactly what they needed to do. We saw them have this start where Alliance were finding everything, but suddenly Bears, kind of in this 16 to 18 minute point of the game, they're getting everything they needed done. They find the 2-man pick-off into the Roche, into the Jug kill, into the Alchemist. Up top, Fada, can he get his way out of this? He's got the Aegis. They blew the RP for this one. They're bringing back in Forev. Bears, they turn this. Instant stun, good multicast as well onto Fada, but he still gets the chance to blink out. The Solar Crest on him, meaning minimal damage could come through. Orchid onto the CM. And Fada, thinking about the Sonic Wave, he's going to hold on to it. The healing ward's out. Feels like he hasn't got enough damage to do anything about Alliance. And Alliance, they do get the Aegis, but again, at the same time, the momentum that Bears have, Alliance have got to do a little bit more to stop it.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the Alchemist, and it's definitely true that Limp can reach this critical mass, but, you know, killing the Courier 2 times, killing him in mid, taking him down there right before he finished up his Manta style, like, if he got the Manta off of the Courier before they ganked him, he might have actually lived. So, it's a situation where Bears know exactly what they need to do, and they're finding the right heroes. Like finding the Alchemist, finding the Magnus so there's no team fight for the Roche, and they can just take it for free. Like sure, they gave away the Aegis, not really for anything special, but the fact of the matter is, Alliance didn't get it, and that's the most important thing.
Mid lane, Bears, hanging around very aggressively. Of course, we've got to still remember though, with the farm of Limp is still very far ahead. It's just this kind of minute downtime where he's been set back in his effective net worth because of that Courier going down. But they can certainly deal with the pressure. You know, having an Alchemist, a Jug, a Magnus empowered up, lanes being pushed in is something that they're happy with. This is just more farm effectively for Alliance. Until we see how well Bears do have a chance of breaking high ground. And how would you say, how good is Bears' high ground potential when it gets to that point?
I mean, they really only have like one hero that can safely hit the tower, and that's Queen. it's not ideal, but they do have Beastmaster. They have a Solar Crest, so
Yep.
they can like buff up that frontline hero to make sure that you're not just gonna, you know, slowly get whittled down. And plus, they're eventually gonna have an Aghanims on 3/4/3s. So when that happens, they will have the sustain, they'll have the vision, and they have amazing pickoff potential, as we've already witnessed. So I think it can definitely be a high ground siege. EGM?
Alright.
Trouble?
Going in, they do have the sentry down the lines. They see exactly his plans. Firo looking for Jonas and Fan in the sidelines. So that's the blink. He's going to want to try and go for this one. Doesn't look like he does. Doesn't try for the blink RP. Maybe a little bit too worried about what was waiting behind him. And indeed, Japzor and Adam were there. At the same time, though, Ferev continuing to farm. I mean, this build as well, very, very interesting for Ferev. No Necro. He's going absolutely for the team build, really, isn't it? With the Vlads, the Solar Crest, and now looking to the AC straight up.
I like it a lot. It's great against Alchemist. Like this is like the anti-Alchemist item build. You get the Vlads and the AC to counter the acid spray damage because you know that your team might not be like the greatest high ground siege, like we just discussed. And the Solar Crest just melts the Alch because you don't actually build any flat armor items for a while. Like sure, armor comes from Armlet, but you kind of want like an AC or a Shivas yourself on the Alchemist if there's a Solar Crest on the other side.
Smoker from Alliance. Vada actually has an Invis rune here. This could come in very handy if it dispels the smoke. Yapzor with the vision, jumps forward, telekinesis on TGM, bring him down to the low ground, loaded to charge forward, drops the healing ward. He did see Jonas and Fan trying to make an RP play, but Fada walks straight up and silences him, making sure there'll be no RP at the start. Bears starting to back away, very aware that that blink RP is a huge threat. No one to go down there as smoke from Alliance just, they couldn't get the jump, even with that high ground advantage. The ward was there. Bears came too close for Alliance to be able to keep themselves hidden under the smoke as it got taken out. Alliance will move forward again. They just need to secure the D. They did get the D, okay. But the sentry's still there on the low ground, actually. It's under cover. It's just out of range, actually. It's the other side. They tried to get rid of that sentry, but the sentry remains there. The Bears will be able to reclaim vision at that point next time they come around again.
And the completed Hex now on Fata as well. So he's got this is like that super old school Queen build, but very, very effective.
This man certainly knows how to farm. I mean, 23 minutes having this on the Queen of Pain is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's almost like he played mid professionally for a very long time.
It certainly is.
Yeah, he's had a really standout performance. I think it shows a lot of patience from him to not just go for like these YOLO kills when you have a 15-minute Orchid. You know, it's really tempting when you're playing Queen. It's like, oh man, I can kill this guy, but it's really about like making sure that you find the right target and you don't get too impatient, because Queen is a great split pusher. You have so much mana regen from this item build that you can kind of sit there and you're looking at Alliance's team and you say, realistically, the only way I die is if I get Blink RP'd. And if I get Blink RP'd, Forev and Firo are both going to be split pushing all the time. So that's kind of the issue that Alliance are running into now, where it's like, yeah, we got this big Alchemist, but we didn't really hit our timing. You know, 25, 30 minutes. That's when your Alch's supposed to be hitting like tier 3s. That's like the ideal situation.
I mean, just to give you a feel really of how much Fada's achieved, he's pretty much got the same CS as the Alchemist. That's how much he's been farming.
Right. He just doesn't have Greevil's Greed, which
is sure, which is why you see kind of the 4K difference, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
no, I
a lot of fun.
I definitely agree. He's played well. The other thing too is, we talked about like this aggro try and how important it was to shut down Firo, but he's actually surpassed Loda's net worth after the laning phase broke down, because they weren't really prioritizing Loda to get all the farm, because they had this idea of like the healing ward Alchemist being able to deathball push and, you know, we'll just end the game. But since that hasn't really quite worked out as well as they wanted it to, the longer the game gets stretched out, the less and less that Alchemist farm is really going to matter. Because when you have a Beastmaster, a Slark, and a Queen with this much farm, he's not really going to reach that unkillable stage.
Firo coming close, sentries are being laid down. Alliance being very good with this vision. I mean, very good. There's sentries everywhere, Andy. It's very, very hard for Firo to get in close and personal with this Shadow Blade when Alliance are together. Loader a little out on his own. Should be fine. Yeah, the rest of the side of Alliance move across to join him. And Firo, again. Let's keep an eyes on them. Knows that he's safe, no detection out here. Jonas and Fan. Interesting builds as well. So Jonas and Fan going for the Lotus Assault. Gets in that armor, and also something to help deal with the fact that Fada has been jumping on him with the Orchid. And also, getting a relatively early Lotus is absolutely ideal, I guess, when you see your Queen of Pain has such an early Hex. Ooh, nah, JK doesn't want to use the RP for Adam.
Cuddle's way too fast to go for that kind of RP. You need to hit him like in the middle. He's 460 movement speed. The cast time that it takes for him to channel that, he would have missed like 100%. So yeah, it was a good cancel. But yeah, I do enjoy the Lotus Orb choice. They actually need a Solar Crest too, though.
Okay.
That's the thing. Like the way that you want to build these lineups when you have this like Alchemist Siege style thing going on is you just want to make all your items to buff the Alch. You know, you make Solar Crest, you make Lotus Orb, you make these Aura items, whatever, and you throw them on the tower and you let them hit it. Like that's usually how these lineups work because you just have so many items so fast that when you have a Solar Crest and a Lotus Orb on him, in addition to like his 10k net worth lead, which normally you would have at this stage in the game, it's just insurmountable. You can't ever kill him. But like I said, you know, Bears got the perfect picks. They got Roshan. They stopped Alliance's momentum in its tracks, and now they're struggling to get it back.
Firo. Peter Silver Edge has the vision on Alliance, and it's going to actually make a bit of a break onto Limp. Jumps in, Hex is there. The damage is immediately not in place. They have a Roar, but with the healing ward, Alliance is still in a perfect position to fight. They think about moving forward to chase down the kills, but they'll just turn their attention to pushing down the lane. And we are seeing that it certainly feels like it is getting to the stage where the damage that Bears have is nowhere near enough to deal with a full 5-on-5 when Alliance turn up a group like that.
Well, they weren't really in position either. Like, in order for that kill to work, they need like the Orchid on top of the Roar, so that way he takes like the bonus damage afterwards, especially if his math is down. I don't actually know if it was down when he got roared, but that's like the perfect scenario, because then he can't get rid of the Orchid debuff, he's gonna take the bonus damage, has a Solar Crest on him. Here we go. Roshan here from Alliance.
Can they do anything? Firo coming around, the sentry is down on Alliance, they know that Firo's there, they'll turn towards him, and with the root, they actually bring him down incredibly low. Pause the Shadow Dance. He's on the retreat, Hex up onto the Alchemist, will end up stunning himself. But again, Bears, can they really get in and stuck into this fight? It doesn't look like they can. Alliance will just waltz back towards the pit and say, what are you going to do, Bears? And I think Bears are asking themselves, what are we going to do? They're looking towards Fada, saying, what are we going to do? And the answer is nothing. Alliance get away with the Roshan, get the Aegis onto Loda. And I don't know, even with, as you say, the Hex and the Orchid, I mean, maybe that lets them kill one. But this Slark needs more. I'm not too sure about this as well. Firo looking to queue up the Blink Dagger after the Silver Edge. They just haven't got the damage, Andy. And that's not going to help the damage situation.
Well, I think he buys the Blink because he wants to get in. He wants to find the Magnus or something like that to stop them, right? So here's what basically happens in a team fight. If they all jump the Alchemist, there's a chance they're going to be clumped. And if they're clumped up, that just leads in for an RP. So they need a hero that does less damage than Queen, who can go in and stop the Magnus from getting that counter initiation. And I think that's why he wants the item. Also helps for split push. I think at this point, Firo's kind of just, he said, all right, I'm not going to be able to be in the fights. So I need to be able to do something else that's still going to help my team. That the Blink Dagger will help split push. It will help him get to the backline heroes, which are pretty much the only ones that he can kill. And for the rest of the team, they're just splitting up the map.
No, I mean, somehow, Barev was allowed to blink out there. They didn't get the damage out. Fada jumps in, silence to the CM, takes one by Jonas and Van. Oh my god, that RP there, Bears get absolutely wrecked. Oh my goodness. I'm struggling to see an out for Bears this game. If Alliance just seemed too big.
That was...
How are you killing them, especially when they RP you like that?
Ooh, that was very well played by Jonas and Fan. Like, that was the perfect situation. Into the concoction, in the skewer. I mean, stuff like that, it doesn't happen a lot. But when it does, and you're already in this position as Alliance where you're really close to that tipping point, it can kind of just blow a game wide open. And that might have just happened.
I don't know, it feels like Alliance have been riding this one for a while just because of how well they can farm. I mean, Firo, I like this. I don't know if he heard me, Andy, but he's not getting the blink. He's switched it up. He is getting some damage. They need the damage. They really do. He's queued up the defusal first. And I could just get behind that so much more. So they have that damage. Jonas and Fan, of course, after that, he did have the completed low sword beforehand. Now he's very close to having the money to get the Shadow Blade, to have that extra jump in. Limp working on an AC for himself. AC also, how close are we on Forev? Forev has got his done, so Ahsoka Cuirass is now complete on Forev. Diffusal Blade there on Slark. So I do like, this is now going to help them have that little bit extra damage, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if you have even just enough damage when Alliance have this amount of play and control. They've got to keep so many eyes and tabs on what Jonas Van's position is, and it's just going to get so hard to do so when he has this Shadow Blade out, which is going to be in a few moments.
Yeah, the mag pick is really coming in clutch for them. Not just because of the fact that they had the RP, but you know, it's keeping all the cores relevant on farm. Yeah. I don't think any other hero would have been able to like propel this lineup to the stage that it's at right now as well as a mag can. So, you know, props to the draft again. I like the Alliance's draft from the get-go. We talked about it. Hero,
that's a freebie. That's a freebie. EGM comes close. Loader will jump in. Alliance want to react. Silenced up. Limp will be low to sword, but does he get the chance to throw off the concoction? Vada still thinking about trying to get involved in this fight. Furo moving forward. Who's he going to find? Looks towards Jonas Fan, but Jonas Fan gets the blink off in time. Limp tries for the concoction, but he gets brought by Forev. Forev immediately Omni Slash and Fire Blasted down by Hansken. They'll take down the Beastmaster. Can they get more? Furo already trying to escape his way out. He should be fine. They've got no real ways of finding him down there. Hansken does, of course. He did have the gem. Where's the gem? Okay, he's given the gem to Jonas Fan. Jonas Fan holding the gem at the moment for Alliance. And in fact, Andy, that was close. Jonas Fan still had that RP. Yeah, that he nearly had that. He nearly cancelled that TP. I didn't find the case. Firo actually now in a good position. These are some easier kills to find, especially Hansken. We're going on the Ogre. Can they actually come in and help him? Well, Firo's scared. With Loader pressing the issue, and now the turn up of the rest of Alliance, he's going to back up. Jump forward from Loader. Doesn't quite get the damage to finish off Adam. We're going to see Forev come back down to this. The fight continuing, both sides hungry for action. Firo sticking in the neighborhood, has to be very careful. RP is still there for Jonas Fan. Alliance will group at bottom, ready to push down. It looks like Bears, they are going to go for the smoke wraparound. They need to find this Magnus. Jonas Fan's positioning absolutely crucial here. Has to keep himself away from the first point of initiation. And there's the move forward. Fada has a DD, jumps forward, gets the Hex of the Magnus. There's the protection, they'll jump in. Firo trying to get towards it, but the Roar, it's low to sword. Immediately Forev just shouts in his own log holes. He gets stunned up, taken down, and Alliance, they're looking for more. As Firo tries to get himself back out to safety. Can they find him? Yes, they can. They've got the Frostbite. Firo tries to get his way out. He's not going to make it. That's the Slark down as well. And every fight going Alliance's way. It feels like a drafting issue, Andy. The Bears just don't pack the punch. As Alliance just do so much damage.
Yeah, there's just too much single target on Bears. Like, that's really the biggest issue that they're running into. They have to all in one target, right? Because they have Beastmaster, they have the Queen with the Hex and the Orchid and everything, and that's great. But when they go into a team fight, there's nothing to create chaos. It's just, we're going to throw all of our abilities on one hero and hope it dies. And when you have that kind of lineup, when Lincoln's comes out, when Lotus Orb comes out, yeah, you know, Solar Crest as well, then it becomes significantly harder to do what your heroes are meant to do. Then you're relying totally on the element of surprise, being able to kill somebody before Alliance can react. And that's just, it's playing even more, I think, into Alliance's hands than I originally thought it would, because when Bears were making the ganks happen, and they got the first Roche, it's like, okay, you know, they got this game, they're doing what they need to do. But over time, every time that they were playing passively, or just like playing the farm game and splitting up the lanes, Limp's now got an 11k net worth.
Oh boy.
And that's like the critical mass that we were talking about in this ALK.
We're in the beautiful territory of Aghanims now. Now, what's the priority list, Andy? Who's going to go to who?
I would actually like to see Mag get it first.
I would love to see Mag get it first.
Because he has the Empower Aura, right?
I think he's like Lotus there as well. Lotus says, give it to me, otherwise you kick, son.
He might give it to Loda first. Let's see.
Where's it going? Yeah, he gives it to
Loda.
Loda. Limp staying on the roster. Yeah, you don't want to be kicked.
The stats and the 3 extra bounces are obviously really nice too. Makes him harder to burst. Who's the worst Ags in the team, actually?
They're all pretty good.
I mean, Ogre Ags isn't even that bad, right?
It isn't at all. Hey, JSF. Does he want to go for a bit of solo plate? Nah, he's keeping it cool. Let Yapsil walk it off. Doesn't want to reveal down to Loader before he heads down for some more farm. Forev, Adam. I mean, one thing can certainly be said. You see with the warding, Bears keeping some really good vision up over Alliance's half of the map. As we can see with these 3 wards in optimal positions.
Yeah, the thing is that the lineup of Bears will actually scale pretty well. It's just always going to be that threat of RP. Nice force that there.
Oh, Pardo looking for the turn. Loda needs help, and he needs it now. TP's starting to come through already, and it's going to be fine. There's no way that they can kill this Juggernaut with a jump like that.
So the force staff away from Omni is like a 50-50, right? Like sometimes it will get you away and sometimes it won't. Very fortunate for
Yeah, I think it depends on which way the bounce is going, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the timing. But the thing is, the timing is so tight that it's like, it's really hard to do that consistently. But Bears still have some time. Like, if they want to play like the super farm game and try to get, you know, the Slark to a 6 slot, he's still quite a ways away from that. But the later the game goes, the harder it's going to be for them to kill Firo. And Limp, you know, he's not really going to get too much more farm.
It's dancing with danger there, the two of them. Forev and Yapsor, very, very close. You can't hold hands when Magnus is in the game. The hater of friendship. Bears, they're trying to split it up the map, and this is giving space for Firo. As he's starting to climb back up the farm, but as we can see, Fada's still in as I emphasized before, a pretty incredible position for this Queen of Pain, considering she's not been involved in a lot of blood and action. It's, apart from the blood and action of neutrals, you know, Fada pretty much playing PvE.
Yeah, he's genocided his side of the map of creeps. Like, they're just all dead. But I mean, it's okay when you can't find the openings, right? Like, you don't want to just sit around and do nothing. And you know that no one else is really going to hold items as well as you and the Slark. So, as long as you're not just, like, taking farm needlessly from the teams, I think it's okay. Alliance, though, they're going to get the third Roshan, so Cheese on deck. Looks like they're just going to give the Aegis to Loda. And man, once he gets Butterfly, oh god. You know, we talked at length about Limp's Alchemist and how effective he's going to be, but Loda, under the radar, has managed to squeak his way into the second net worth position. And sure, I think that also takes into account the Aghanim synth, but at the very least, like, once he gets Butterfly, no MKBs out on the side of Bears just yet. There was never a completed Bloodthorn because Fata probably just assumed that the Manta style and the Lotus Orbs were just going to counter it anyway. But yeah, this pickup is a really big spike in strength for Loda.
I really don't know how they killed him.
It's not going to be easy, but nothing's impossible in Dota, Owen.
For sure, but I'm trying to do the maths in my head, and I can't see the numbers being bigger than the numbers that Alliance have defensively.
That's some EU math. That's the problem.
I guess so. I mean,
no, you're right. You're definitely right.
If you just add up all the numbers that Bears are throwing out, Alliance just have bigger numbers that they're holding on.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
There we have the push coming in. Let's see how well Bears can stop this. Fortification comes out. Alliance, they're sticking around. Notice a fan already in position for the counterplay. Indeed, they are. The push going to come in pretty fast from Forev. Takes the tier 3 down to half health. Alliance that have already broken through to the racks. That's going to be a full set of racks going down on the top lane. And Bears, they just can't stop it. Down on the side, though, Firo will find the CM. EGM out for the time being. Loda, after mana leak, starts to back off. EGM's actually going to buy back on the Crystal Main. Just look to hold bottom. Keep Forever away. Make sure that they don't get ratted out fully. Firo, chased down by Loda. And Jonas and Fan here. Jump off with the Omni Slash to Fire Blast. They'll take him down. Butter tries to kill Limp there with the Orchid and the Sonic Wave, but it's just not enough damage. Limp walks it off. EGM did die back though, and Forev gets the successful rat on the bottom lane. But Alliance, they're already in position to look for more. At the least, they want to try and force out the buyback from Firo. Straight up Loader, onto the high ground, onto the tier 3. Alliance are ready to find more. And Forev, now backed up, he can't rat. He's not in a position to try and rat for more. There's the buyback from Firo. Lead in with the telekinesis. Forev doesn't have the roar, still on cooldown for 30 seconds. Fada jumping across, looking towards Limp, but the healing ward's out from Loader. Alliance starting to get themselves top back up. Jonas and Fan still has RP available. Shadowblade back off cooldown in a few seconds. He can look to close the gap. Look at Loaded, just on the front lines, hitting onto the rack. Charge forward from Limp. They look towards Firo. Firo purges off the instant initiation. Limp low on the mana. There's the jump forward onto the back line as Sparta was trying to find Jonas and Fan. Jonas and Fan isn't going to blow the RP. Mid lane, Firo pots the Shadow Dance, trying to bring down Limp. Limp getting low, might actually be able to kill, but look at the damage from Loader. Forces Firo to jump back. There's the RP from Jonas and Fan, but the stolen RP from Yapsor gets 3. Oh, they got the damage with the Scream. The Hex onto Loader, they can't quite kill him. The Blade Fury comes out. Forev's taken down. Fada still trying to finish off Loda. Loda still survives. Now comes back in. The Aegis has been popped. Lim stunned up on the high ground. EGM with the freezing field. Fada all kids up, and we've got a little bit of lag. There goes the lag. It's out of here. Loda's Orb keeping Limp alive. Omni slash from Loda. Drops down for Rev. Moves over to Firo. Those Aghanims bounces, securing the kill on the Slark, and he's ready to come back over to help Lim. Throws the concoction out to Fada. Fada gets the blink out in time, but the blink's there for Loda as well. Jumps forward, takes down the quad. No! The Octarine heal. It's enough. Fada survives, gets back to the high ground. The fight is over, but the damage is almost certainly done for Bears. Slark's down for 70 seconds. He doesn't have buyback. Yaptor's out. Berev as well. They don't have buybacks available. But Alliance, they're being careful. They're backing away. They don't want to try and use this opening to finish at the base, which is catching me by surprise, Andy. I feel like they could just go for it.
I mean, maybe they feel like they did enough economical damage to just back off, but that Octarine level 25 Queen passive just saved Fada's
did.
life so bad. And we talked about that luck, right, where you force staff away from an Omni Slash. Firo did not have the luck. He pounced out of vision and still got followed by that. Oh, that was incredibly unlucky.
And here we go. Alliance back up to the high ground. They clear at the mid lane. They'll make a beeline straight for the bottom. 30 seconds still without Firo. How can they hold? Fada jumps forward, but again, Loda's there with the Omni Slash, bringing Fada down low, does manage to blink off. The bounces continue over to Farev, blink out for Loda. He's focusing the ejections. Jonas and Fando comes in with the two-man RP. Instant buyback from Fada, but Alliance, they take the racks down. They've got themselves the Megas. Silence onto EGM, he'll go down. Alliance back up, they've got what they wanted. And Bears now having to deal with the pressure of the Mega Creeps. They're desperately chasing out, trying to find a kill of sorts. I don't know if they're going to find it. Fada, can he get anything from this Firo? They're looking for something bigger than just the Ogre. And they need it. They do get the Hex onto Lim. Firo's there as well. He's going to be able to start stacking up these Essence Shift. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's getting more and more. He's getting bigger and bigger with the BKB. He can sustain this. He turns towards Loda. 15. Let's start to count. 17. It continues and they're all dead. Japsor with the stolen freezing field in the midst of it all. Alliance are out. And what's this? Alk doesn't have a buyback. He's dead for 100 seconds. Surely Bears can't do this. Surely Alliance can't throw this game. But yeah, the buybacks come through. If Bears do this, this is going to be absolutely insane. Smoke up from Alliance.
This is their only chance.
Firo moving forward. There's the telekinesis. Firo starts to go to work. Looks towards the Magnus. The BKB comes out. Jonas and Fan walks back to base. Yapzor with the self-fuels, but he's going to get skewered back straight into the clutches of Alliance. Yapzor's out. It's the buyback from Yapzor. They know that they've got to use this moment to go. They know that the Alk's down. They realize that he doesn't have buyback available. They'll look towards the middle lane, but then they ping out the tier 2. They say, you can't hit the tier 3 if you haven't hit the tier 2.
But they can hit the tier 4s,
They can hit the tier 4s. They're working out what to do, Bez. They're assessing their options.
They're summoning the Beastmaster now. Okay, here we go.
They're brought
this
in.
Is it.
They need to do something in this 50 seconds. Can Bears really get it done? Alliance, they're thinking about the play. They're sitting in the base.
MRP.
They've lost one tier 4. Oh my god, can Bears do this? I can't quite believe what we're seeing here in this game. Alliance, they just need one big play and then they'll be in the clear. They need to get a kill on one of these big cores. But Adam just trying to keep them back. There's the 4-stuff. Jonas and Fan picks apart one. The Cottle's down, but the tier 4's gone. The Ancient is exposed. Roar on TGM. The fortification comes out. There's the Omni Slash from Loda. He gets one. Aggressive jump from Fada. The RP's there from Jonas and Fan, but Yapzor, he stole the RP! The RP's Alliance with the Sonic Wave. Jonas and Fan's out! He's down for 100, but they've lost 3 on Bears. Loda's got the bashes onto Quap. Fada comes out with the Hex, but it's a rampage for Loda. Alliance defend. They're not throwing today. They keep the Ancient alive. GG is called. Bears knew that that was their one chance to try for it against all odds. And it's over. Alliance do it in true Alliance style. They give the opponent a little bit of a chance, but then they hit back hard, and Loda takes the rampage.
Jesus, I can't handle another one of those games.
What a game.
That was so close. I think they just hesitated a little bit too long. If they were running back and forth, they were like pinging the tier 4s on the side of Alliance saying, okay, they can kill our tier 4s, but the tier 2 mid like totally threw them off. They wanted to go for racks. Like Fata was killing the creep wave and he's like, wait a minute, there's a tier 2 mid. If they had gone in like 15 seconds sooner, they might have actually been able to squeak that out. And Yapsor, with like the most clutch RP steal of his life, didn't
Oh,
manage to
man.
squeak it through. But my
Oh,
God, what a game!
what a game indeed. We knew we were in for a bit of a treat from the draft at the beginning, and we absolutely got it there. Alliance,
Yeah, no doubt.
it just felt at the end of the day they did have the better plan. They had the safer all-round plan. Bears, the damage was lacking in the majority of mid-game to late-game fights. They had that one opportunity at the end, but nonetheless,